And welcome into Rice Eccles Stadium for the 4A state championship game. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart coming to you, and it is a cold, wet day, and but it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a great day. Championship day in football is always a bittersweet day, but Dane, we got an outstanding game. Mountain Crest comes into this game, one loss on the year. That was the Skyview taking on Orem, who is a region champion, who's lost 2 games, but neither of which were in their own classification.
Yeah, this is going to be a really great match, Dusty, and this is one that, when you look at these two teams, I think they're very similarly constructed, very similarly modeled. We've got a record watch going on in our state championship. We've got elite receivers, great quarterbacks, dynamic running games, and defenses that have been battle-tested and are ready to go. This is going to be a fun 4A championship.
You talk about being on a record watch. It is Puka Nakua, the star wide receiver for the Orem Tigers. He is 2 touchdowns away from setting the new single-season touchdown receiving touchdown record. And also, Dane, as you mentioned on our pregame show on Facebook Live, 150 yards away from breaking the single-season.
Geertsen had 1769, and that's a record that has been in place for a long time, Dusty. And I was for him, and people remember that 25 years down. And Puka Nakua, this is a kid that missed a couple of games this year for Orem, still has a shot at both of those records, but he's got to have a big state championship here today to get it.
And he's going to have that big state championship day against a team that is very, very good in the Mountain Crest Mustangs. This is a team that plays tough defense. That loss against Skyview is a low-scoring game, but they got a fun offense as well. Brady Hall, younger brother Bug Hall, he's trying to do what Bug could not do, which is win a state championship football game. That year when Bug was a senior, 2 championship appearances, but unable to come in with the title in any of them. Brady can right a lot of wrongs for the Hall family today.
Yeah, it's interesting. He was kind of thrust into the quarterback position last year, Dusty. He wasn't a quarterback by nature, but last year they were playing up in the 5A classification, now the 6A, and they were down. They only had 800 kids in their school, and so Hall was kind of asked, hey, can you play quarterback? And had learned the position last year, and this year he's really reaped the benefits of all of that work from last season. And I really think that all of that frustration, those tough games, and being shorthanded, going up against, that Region 1, I think that's really proven to be very pivotal for the success that Mountain Crest has had this year. They've been through the gauntlet, they've been through the tough battles, the tough games, and they've responded really well here in 2017. But you're right, Hall, he's going to have a lot on his shoulders here today, leading quarterback and leading rusher as well.
We are all teed up and ready to go, since it would be the first chance for a state championship for Orem since 1994 for Mountain Crest. We're only a few years back to Alex Caressa. This is going to be a blast, and I hope you enjoy being along with us. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart, as always, our commentary brought to you by Tasha Orthopedic Specialty Hospital. And we are teed up and ready to go here in the 4A championship. The first of 3 games coming to you on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. Canyon Esplin all teed up. Small crowd with the weather, but hopefully you are enjoying it wherever you are, dry and warm. The 4A title game is underway, and it'll roll out of bounds, a procedure penalty against the Tigers, and it'll be terrific field position for Brady Hall and the Mountain Crest Mustangs.
So we talked a little bit about Brady Hall, and there's a couple other kids that had really nice semifinals, have had good years. Bo Robinson, Dusty, we talked about him in our Facebook Live pregame. Jace Dart, he was a kid that had a really nice week last week, number 22. And then Nick Nethercott. I mean, this is a kid that I absolutely love watching play. Big 6'2" target for Brady Hall, and a physical specimen on the outside for the Mountain Crest Mustangs.
So out comes Hall and the offense. Trips to the near side. Robinson is just off of the tight end, and it'll be a run with Hall. He is wrapped up and dropped by Austin Kirby along with Ethan Slade.
And this is going to be, for all the talk about the quarterbacks, Hall and Laga, these 2 run defenses have to be really stout. The weather is lightening up a little bit. We had some pretty big snowflakes coming down just 30, 45 minutes ago. It's lightened up a little bit, but the ground game is going to be really important for both these 2 teams to establish.
2nd down and 9. They flip the formation. Hall able to slip 1 tackle, slips a 2nd, and powers his way to midfield. What could have been a loss ends up being a gain, finally brought out of bounds by Chris Daly.
Yeah, unfortunate here for Mountain Crest, because Dusty, I thought he was dead in the water. I mean, there were a couple of Tigers that really filled the gap and just didn't have anywhere to go. Look at this, a fantastic job right there coming up. I think it was Saua Toa, the senior defensive tackle, and Hall able to get around a couple of tackles and pick up some nice yardage.
3rd down and 5 for the Stings. Trips to the top of the screen, one receiver near side.
Showing blitz.
Orem brings 5. Hall, pressure coming from behind. Brady still looking, now has to fire it out of bounds. Nice job by this Orem defense. It'll be 4th down, and the punting unit will come on for Mountain Crest.
You know, one of the other things that's we haven't talked about yet, Dusty, but the footing going to be very key here today. Nick Nethercott ran a down the field route. He had an opportunity to cut back and go towards the sideline, but he was a little slow on his cut back. And I mean, you think about it, it is still raining. Not as hard as it was this morning, but got to be really certain with your cuts. It slowed up Nethercott enough that Orem was able to defend and get off the field.
Pressure on the pump, a nice kick getting away from Fogler. And that ball goes out of bounds at around the 30-yard line, where we will get a chance to see Cooper Laga and the Tiger offense. Actually goes out to 26. So out comes Cooper Laga and the Orem Tigers, a big win against the Skyview Bobcats. You look at how Orem got here. The last 3 games, Dave, Desert Hills, Skyview, and now Mountain Crest. I mean, that is quite the gauntlet to run to get to the 4A championship game.
Yeah, they're certainly proven. I mean, both these two teams have had good tests coming up, but Orem has had to knock off a lot of big dogs to get here to Rice Eccles for the championship.
Out comes Lagat, and they're going to start on the ground, and it'll be a short gain from Moses Ruiz as he's wrapped up by Dylan Bosca, and it'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 7.
Mentioned establishing the ground game, and we mentioned some of the backs for Mountain Crest. Robinson Dart didn't get carries. Rocky Kanisi, a couple of backs for Orem that are going to be key in this ball game, Dusty. And trying to start off with the run game early are the Tigers, finding about the same amount of success as Mountain Crest did early on.
Kanese is the pistol back. It'll be Kanese off the left side. He's dropped in the backfield. Knifing through and getting the stop is one of the great names. I believe it was Tanner Lofthouse, one of the great families in Mountain Crest sports history.
Boy, and he really flew around last week. You see, it wasn't Lofthouse, it was actually Joshua Powell, and you saw him, linebacker came up to get him, Powell able to just run right around it and drop Kanisi for a loss on the play. These defenses, we mentioned it, Lofthouse is good as well, Dusty, but they've both been really stout against the run. They were in the semifinals last week.
3rd down and 8. Imagine this ball's gonna go in the air, 2 by 2. Lagat, pressure, now gonna run. Cooper widens out at 30, can't get away from Bo Robinson as he's also cleaned up by Lofthouse. It'll be 4th down and about 4 as they're gonna mark him out of bounds short of the sticks.
Dusty, I mean, we kind of thought that the running game's gonna be important. 3rd and long for both teams, and the coverage is good. There's just nowhere for Lagat to go. Tries to pick it up on the ground, and you mentioned Robinson, Lofthouse teaming up there to limit the gain, and 2 3 and outs both ways here.
So out comes the punting unit for the Tigers. And let that ball get into his body there as there'll be fair caught at the 31-yard line by Bo Robinson, and a chance for Hall and the Tigers to come out, but we got a timeout first. 9:07 remaining in the first quarter. 0-0. 2nd possession for Mountain Crest when we come back. Welcome back into Rice-Eccles Stadium. Second possession for the Tigers, or pardon, Mustangs. And it'll give off to Bo Robinson, and Bo gets a yard to the 33-yard line. It'll be second down and 9.
And we mentioned in our pregame, Dusty, on Facebook Live how important it would be to get Bo Robinson going and get a couple of backs there for Mountain Crest to find some success on the ground, maybe open up the passing game. But you see on the inside, and a nice job again, it's Saua Toa in there, number 19. He has been a force here early for Orem on defense.
Shotgun the first drive. We're going from I-backs in the second one. Play action. Fire the fly. Ball's intercepted. Remington Hill with the pick. And Remy still looking. Picks his way inside the 30-yard line. And the first big play of the game turned in by the Orem Tigers.
Boy, this is a risky throw all the way by Brady Hall. And we'll have a chance to look at the replay, a bootleg. And he throws out to a spot, Dusty. Barely even gets a chance to look. And you see just sitting back there was Hill. And the first turnover of the game coming early on and setting Orem up deep inside Mountain Crest territory. A big play here early on the turnover by Hill.
And a penalty against the Tigers. And we said that a lot last week. And for them, we hope it doesn't say a lot today, but it certainly bites them a little bit, backs them up to the 42-yard line.
You know, you kind of have the feeling that this is going to be one of those days where it's tough to get free yards, and that's a costly penalty. I mean, take 15 yards back up the Tigers, 10.
And it'll be zone read. Laga widens out. Inside the 40, dives toward the 35-yard line. A nice gain on first down. Gain of 6, it'll be second down and 4.
And we didn't see them run a zone read much last week, Dusty, but he has this skill set. And you see a nice pull there by the guard, and Cooper Laga going to push it outside. Able to just stretch forward after that contact put on the hit by Jace Dart. But a solid carry on first down for the quarterback, Laga.
Laga showed some of that running ability, made our top 5 plays last weekend in our semifinal edition on Deseret News Rewind. Read pass option, going deep, got a man, makes the grab inside the 10, down to the 5. It is Trevor Rocky. Made some big catches in the semifinal, and it is first and goal, Orem.
Boy, they leak Rocky out, and a fantastic job as you see him coming just right out of the backfield. Lagas sees it immediately, has a step, and nice job recovering, but boy, damage done as Moser able to bring him down and prevent the touchdown.
Beautiful throw from Laga. And it'll be first and goal from the 5. Struggled a little bit in short yardage last week against Skyview. Canesse, the deep back. He'll follow Christiansen into the hole. And Canesse still moving his feet. And finally going to be whistled for forward progress. The official at the top of the screen finally came run down, but don't want to blow their whistle.
Yeah.
Gets down to the 2-yard line.
You know, and then the frustrating thing is someone comes in with a decleater and they're going to get a flag.
Right.
Got to get that whistle volume up a little bit here on the inside the stadium, but nice run on the inside. Mountain Crest, this defense has been stout. Dusty, they gave up 21 points week 1 against Highland. They haven't given up more than 20 since then. It's been a tough defense to score upon. Orem trying to finish off the drive off the turnover here.
And they marked him down at the 3. Oh, lost a snap. And Canesse jumps on at the 5, actually still loose. Mountain Crest might have gotten this ball, Dane.
I think they did.
And Laga still battling for it. No signal, and Laga comes away with it. Wow, Cooper
so
Laga.
Fortunate, Dusty. That ball was hanging out there, and I thought Canesse was going to get on it, but mention it's slick. The field is slick. The ball is wet. See Canesse come up, and it wasn't Canesse, excuse me. It was Canesse. So all over the place. It's early.
Backs him up to the 5-yard line, so a loss of 2. And I say just go to shotgun. You haven't done the wet ball drill all week long.
Yep.
Maybe just go to shotgun. Canesse is the lone setback for 3rd and goal. Near side, Laga going to take off. Able to break a couple tackles, but knocked back by Nick Nethercott, and then finally tracked down from behind. I believe that was Alden Appadale. And it is 4th and goal and I think the field goal unit will come on.
Great coverage in the secondary by Mountain Crest. They had a guy running near side to the boundary, and the Mustangs all over. As you see, coming up again, Robinson with a nice tackle to stop Laga and force the field goal attempt.
Esplin comes on for the field goal attempt. Be just a 25-yarder. And he lasts it good. And the Tigers get on the board first. 5:02 remaining in the first quarter. 3-0 Orem in the 4A championship. Welcome back in the 4A state championship game. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart. Hope you are dry and warm wherever you are. We'll sit outside and be cold, and take it on for you. But hope you'll enjoy our coverage today. Got a lot coming your way. It's the Tigers leading 3-0, looking for their first state championship since 1994. Their first state championship appearance since 1996. Esplin's kick will be taken at the 6-yard line. And this is Takiavea. And he gets across the 20-yard line to the 21. And Taukivea will set up the third possession for Mountain Crest. And Dane, they got some wrongs to right after that last possession.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great job by the defense. First of all, coming up with a nice stop, preventing the touchdown. We mentioned turnovers, going to be big. Hall has struggled on the ground. He's 0 for 2 in the game with an interception. He's got to settle down a little bit and get in his rhythm. He's a good quarterback. But for Mountain Crest's sake, he's got to get back in the mode that they're used to having him.
There's Robinson, and Robinson tracked down from behind. Sawatoa able to knife his way in there. And Kane, man, he has been a force to begin this ball game. Kane Sawatoa at the stop, a gain of 1.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're, not even through our first quarter, 2/3 of the way through our first quarter. But to me, big number 19 has been all over the place, and he has been a real difference maker on the defensive side for the Orem Tigers. He's made plays on each and every drive right near the line of scrimmage for Orem.
Double tight end pistol for Mountain Crest. This Hall will go with the read option, and it is Robinson getting to the 25-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Stangs, as once again Sawatoa in on the stop.
Nice play call here, and we see really kind of I think that's kind of more of the success that Mountain Crest is looking for. We've seen them kind of go outside up to this point, but that's just a straight up the middle. I mean, it's a zone read, but it's Robinson right up the middle, and that offensive line for Mountain Crest able to get some nice push.
Billy Tenney also combined on that stop. 2 trips to the top of the screen, 2 receivers near side for Hall. As his quarterback draw, and Hall's going to have the first down and more. Angles his way out of bounds at the 35-yard line, chased out by Chris Daly, and it's 1st and 10, a fresh set of downs for Mountain Crest.
I think this is all on Brady Hall. Orem, the defensive line, a little slow up to the line of scrimmage. In fact, you see the interior D linemen, the tackles don't even get down, and I think Hall just tucks that and runs. He sees that they're going to vacate the middle, and a nice job of Hall picking up 11 yards and the first down for Mountain Crest.
Brady needs to tighten up that knee brace. Oh, wobbling a little bit for him. Pressure coming. Hall over the middle and incomplete. That was a little bit iffy. You hear a lot of oohs below us as the Mountain Crest fans are sitting just below us, but intended for Nethercott, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yep, and Nethercott's the receiver we talked about both pre-games, really, and that ball just a little too tall for the favorite receiver for Brady Hall. Was open, had him coming across the middle. Just got to get that down a little bit into the numbers and allow your best receiver to make a play.
Nethercott, Moser, and Robinson at the top of the screen. Rolling right, looking right for Nethercott, and that ball's incomplete. And it'll be 3rd down and 10 after 2 incomplete passes.
Boy, and Ethan Slade does a fantastic job. That route looks open, and then the moment that it cuts outside, Ethan Slade, the safety, trying to run underneath it, makes a really tough hole for Brady Hall to try to throw into. And Slade's a kid, Dusty, that he wanted to focus on basketball this year. He wasn't even going to come play football. Coach Hill went after him, said, we want you back, need you back, and Slade has been one of those kids in this secondary that has been a big difference maker for the Orem Tigers.
3rd and 10 for Mountain Crest. Hall has pressure, looks backside, didn't want to get rid of the ball, looking still for Robinson. And did he get his foot down? Official says yes. 1st and 10 at the 46. Bo Robinson, an outstanding job just staying alive on the play, Dane.
Boy, what a grab. And I think this is screenplay all the way. You see him looking back, and excuse me, it wasn't a screen. He was looking for something over the middle. And then just buying time, and Robinson able to get open right along the sideline. And how about this? Get that left foot down and in. Couldn't see it through the player, but awfully close. Referee right there to call it good.
Triple option look here, and Sawatoa all over Brady Hall. And it's a loss to the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
Boy, Mountain Crest just doesn't have an answer in this first quarter for the 5'10 senior lineman Kane Sawatoa. And you see him again just coming right through. I mean, gets touched, a little bit of a jersey pull there, but doesn't matter. Kane able to get in the backfield and drop Hall for a loss.
Huerta was beaten at the point of attack. He had no shot. And
No.
Sawatoa, he was good last week, Dane, and he is just lighting up these first few possessions. Empty set backfield for Hall. Orem showed pressure and brought it, and there's a big blue C in the backfield for Mountain Crest. A bunch of guys gets in there, including Billy Tenney, and it's a sack on the play and another loss to the 37-yard line.
And once again, we've got non-committal tackles. And it was Kane, and he's kind of roaming and not really letting this offensive line know where he's coming. And right at the snap, he picks his gap. And it's tough for linemen to pick that up. Kane able to burst through, and I mean, it forced Hall to kind of try to get out of the pocket, ran into his own man, and then it's just broken, and Mountain Crest in deep trouble here on 3rd and long.
Staying empty set. 3rd down and 18. Hall's got free rushers, but it's a screen to Robinson, and Bo lowers the shoulder, but it only gets 2 yards on the play before he's brought down. And it'll be 4th down, and once again, the punting unit coming on for the Stings.
And right now, this Orem defense, Dusty, they are playing really well. I mean, the screen, and they're trying to hold them. But you see Robinson, and here comes the big hit you mentioned. I mean, just flying, lowering the shoulder. And boy, getting the wrong end of that one. Was that Sean Anderson, the safety, feeling the pain on this cold day?
Oh, high snap. Just gets off the kick, this Robinson, and it takes a Mountain Crest roll toward the 30. And it'll be Orem football at the 29-yard line. The Dane right now, Mountain Crest offense unable to get moving, and here comes the Orem offense, and they were set up great in the last possession, got 3 points. 1:09 remaining in the first quarter, and a chance to see Orem once again.
Yeah, and this Mountain Crest defense is going to have to play really, really well while that offense tries to figure out a way to find success against Orem. And fortunately for this Mountain Crest defense, they've got a little more field behind them to work with, but they were stout on that last drive, Dusty. You just wonder how long can they man up with Puka Nakua and keep this Orem Tiger offense at bay.
But Rocky in motion, they're going to throw it out to Rocky on the swing. He has some nice blocks ahead of him, and Rocky to the 35-yard line, a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Tigers.
One of the really nice things is Puka Nakua that time lined up in the slot. And you'll see it here. Watch that block in the top corner, and he turns it inside. There's no way to get around him there. That whole edge is sealed, and it's a nice run up the field by Rocky using that block of Nakua.
That is textbook.
Beautiful job.
So you try to tell your left tackle, hook him,
Yeah,
keep him.
Yeah, and that's a receiver making that block.
Fake the zone read. Nice job by Laga as the Mountain Crest defense read that play. They knew it was going to go to the swing. Bostock was right there, but Laga uses his mobility, and it's a first down at the 43.
And a nice read by Laga. You see he's going to throw that, and that linebacker leaking out into that lane. Good decision by Laga to just tuck that and pick up yards and a first down.
Thomas Hansen with the stop. Just a junior, speaking of Hansen. And up comes junior quarterback Cooper Laga. You got Nakua as a junior. A lot of underclassmen on the field right now. And it's a run and nothing doing, as it was a short gain. It'll be second down and long. Actually, that'll bring us to a close of the first quarter. The first 12 minutes, it's Orem 3, Mountain Crest nothing, heading to the second quarter. Start of the second quarter. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you. Yeah, they better keep swapping out the balls. It's not coming down nearly as hard as it was this morning. The snow not falling like it was 20 minutes before the game started. But it is a cold, frigid day up on the hill. Cooper Laga and the Tigers on their third possession. Laga, that is a delay handoff to Canesse. And Canesse with a big stiff arm. Canesse inside the 40 of the Mountain Crest Mustangs. Mark him out of bounds at the 37. Big run. First and 10, Tigers.
Boy, a huge run to start off this second quarter. And you mentioned the delay. Fantastic call by Orem and Canesse with the vision. Watch this. Nice stiff arm right there on Powell. And then Canesse is across the 50 and down the field. A fantastic run by the Tigers to start off the second quarter. And once again, Dusty on the Mountain Crest side of the field.
Go to the power pistol as Canesse, the deep back, one receiver to each side. Nakua at the top of the screen. And we got some movement before the snap. False start against the Tigers. It'll be first and 15.
Is there any better formation name than the power pistol? It just sounds, we're coming, man.
Self-dubbed by my, I don't know if that's what they call it. That's what I call it.
I've never heard it, but I like it.
You can go set back to the right and the pistol back in the back. Why not?
Yeah, I love it, man.
I mean, I would call it, some other words, but I don't want anyone else with a political agenda to come after me.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. That was the old power eye formation, right? So I think power pistol works.
Power eye or the offset eye? Yeah.
Yeah.
Offset pistol just doesn't sound that cool.
No.
We go double wide receivers in the backfield with Laga. Nakua in the slot, the bottom of the screen. And it is Canesse off the tackle. And Canesse able to get back most, if not all, of the penalty yardage. Got a gain of 4, where it'll be second down on 11.
Mentioned it, just going to follow his big lineman here. And Salmataya. I'm not sure how to say that, but we talked about him last week. He had a nice game last week for Orem. Just a young freshman, the big 6'5" guard for the Tigers, pulling on the play. And Knesse able to just fill right in behind, pick up 4 yards.
You know, usually helps on Polynesian. Sometimes to drop down a little bit. It's more with Sumataya.
You know, see, that's why I just hang on to your coattails, Dusty.
Nakua at the top of the screen. They got him bracket coverage. At least they're showing him with Takavea sliding over as well. And another penalty before the snapper. It might have been delayed game. Yeah, delayed game. Cold weather just slows up everything, including the brain, a little bit. This plays took a little bit longer to get in. You know, I was coming in with a member of the coaching staff, at least the film staff for Orem, and he kept saying over and over again that, hey, it's just weather. It's a championship game. But right now, weather might be affecting a lot more than everything today.
Yeah, it's going to be a major factor. I mean, it's easy to say mentally it's just a little rain, but it's a major factor. Whichever team deals with it better is obviously going to be at a huge advantage.
Laga got plenty of time. Now the pressure comes from Robinson. Laga goes down. Bo Robinson came off the edge and got him. And he's pumped up. Lost back to the 44.
When I thought he might get out of this. You see a little delay up top, and Robinson eventually able to get around and get a hand on Laga. Boy, these sleepy conditions, I thought Laga may have been able to get out of it. He certainly tried, but a nice job of Robinson wrapping him up. And that's a big play in this ball game. It throws it back on the other end of the 50. It's 3rd and forever. I'd expect a long ball than Nakua here, by the way. But it's just one of those things where it almost gives you a chance to flip the field back for your offense.
Nakua at the bottom of the screen. They've got a bracket coverage showing anyway. Here comes Laga. And it was a misdirection run with Knesse and Bo Robinson with the back-to-back defensive plays. Lofthouse cleaned him up. And it is 4th down and 28. And the punting unit will come on for the Tigers.
And again, look, Bo Robinson just hanging out home, saying, you know what, I'm ready, I'm waiting for you. And he's been playing that off the zone read time and time again. But that time, they run right to him, and Robinson able to slow up the ball carrier and bring him down for a loss. Bo Robinson with great defensive plays back-to-back.
Punting unit comes on for the Tigers. 4th and 30. Gets off a decent punt. Robinson takes it off the hop at the 15. Robinson broke one tackle and gets absolutely decked, and he gets an earful after. Caden Vertrell with a big pop. And it'll be Mountain Crest ball, 9:29 remaining in the half. And it's Mustang ball. You're watching the 4A Championship on Live.KSL and DeseretNews.com. Mountain Crest offense has been stymied at the beginning of this ball game, and they're coming out with double tight end set once again. And to bring Hall near side. Brady Hall finds a seam across the 30-yard line, and Brady Hall might have a first down, depending where they mark him. They mark him at 35. 1st and 10, Stings.
Nice run here for Hall. See, he has linemen pulling. Great recognition there quickly by Elias Wells to deal with that rusher for Orem. And Brady Hall with a nice first down carry for the Mustangs.
A nice crack back by Moser to spring him as well. As Nethercott in motion. And they fake the fly sweep, and Hall keeps it. Maybe should have handed that one off.
He got hit.
He got popped by Billy Tenney. Came to clean him up.
You know, one of the things that I think we've learned in this just over first quarter is Orem's defense, it does not get talked about. It should. And you got to run cleanly and crisply. And that time, the miscommunication in the backfield ends up quite painful for Brady Hall on the play.
And probably better that he held on to it because you don't want to fumble when you're trying to get that exchange. You've got a good hold on the ball.
Yep.
But it'll be second down and 11. Trips at the top of the screen. Pressure coming. Hall, wobbly pass, overthrown and picked off by Daly. He slips a tackle, and Daly's got some room down the sideline, still going. How about the interception and return from Chris Daly, the second interception of the half. 1st and 10, Orem at the 30.
You know, there's a big push and question. Do you play on one sport? Do you focus on one? Do you play several? This is why you play several. This is a baseball player. Look, that's just an easy can of corn right there in center field, and Daly able to read that ball well, make the interception, and then how about the moves after the pick? Using his blockers, and once again, off of a turnover, the second of the day for Hall, Orem finds themselves deep in Mountain Crest territory.
Mountain Crest able to hold them to just a field goal the last time there was an interception. This defense has to come up big again. And on first down, Orem keep it on the ground inside the 20. It'll be a fresh set of downs off the run from Clayton Christiansen. And it'll be 1st and 10 Tigers at the 18.
Boy, just straight power here by Christiansen. And look at him just right up the middle, getting to the safety, lowering the shoulder, and goes down. But that's a nice run for Orem, an 11-yard gain. And once again, the Tigers winning that battle on the ground. Dusty leading them inside the red zone for the second time.
Nakua, near side receiver, showing press coverage on the outstanding wide receiver. Laga, pump fake, still looking. Laga gonna take off. Cooper still on his feet to the 10. Reaches toward the 5-yard line. The ball came out.
Mount Crest says they have it.
Mount Crest thinks they have it. And it's Orem football. Wow, 2 opportunities. But now that's 1st and goal. It was 2 opportunities on fumbles that Orem is able to recover.
Boy, and let's give some credit here to Cam Moser, the senior DB, manned up on Nakua, and I'm thinking they're going over the top in the end zone, going to let Nakua go up and battle for it. Laga didn't like it. The matchup there, good for Moser, stuck right with him, and Laga able to see that, take it down to the 5, and then you see the ball come out. I'm going to get a timeout here, but boy, we mentioned the ball's slick. Got to be sure-handed. The difference right now is Hall's 2 interceptions, the 2 fumbles by Orem have been recovered by their own team.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come out. Media timeout. We'll take it with them. 7:32 remaining in the half. 1st and goal when we come back to the 4A championship on Live.KSL and DeseretNews.com. Welcome back into Rice Eccles Stadium. 1st and goal for the Tigers. Nakua in the slot near side. Canesse, the deep back with Rocky. And it is Canesse, and nice job by Ethan Lofthouse with a single leg takedown. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
I want to hit that point once again just as we were going to break because I didn't speak very clearly to it. The difference right now is Hall has 2 picks. Laga has 2 fumbles. They've both been recovered by Orem. I mean, that turnover battle. and it's a battle that Mountain Crest has won most games this season. They're losing it here in the state championship.
Laga looking for Nakua. Ties, no, he drops it. Puka Nakua would have been the record tying touchdown. Broken up, nice defense by Cameron Moser.
Boy, take a picture, because this doesn't happen. I mean, Nakua is wide open, and you see him go up, and boy, just busted. And Nakua, he's trying to get that foot down. You see him bring the head down, making sure that he gets the foot in boundary, doesn't watch the ball all the way in and pull it into his body. And lesson 101, foot placement doesn't matter if you don't catch the ball. And that time just took his eyes off it a titch early.
Step one, catch ball. Step two, make sure you're in bounds. Nakua goes in motion across the formation. Looking backside, pressure comes, and down he goes. Lofthouse got in there and brings him down. The sack by Tanner.
But it's Jace Dart with the coverage on the play. They leaked out Fiso. See Fiso right there at the bottom. He's going to leak out and run to his left. Jace Dart all over him. They wanted the throwback there for Laga. He sees Darts there in coverage, and he has to eat it.
So 2 interceptions resulting in 2 defensive stands. Nice job by this defense. Here's a 25-yard field goal attempt from Esplin. Got the first one. And nails the second one as well. Moral victories for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, but it's 6 points for Orem. Tigers lead 6-0, 6:21 left in the half. Esplin to kick it away after the field goal. And the second kickoff is the second illegal procedure penalty against the Tigers, and another starting drive from the 35-yard line for Mountain Crest.
You know, Dusty, not much has gone right in this first half for the Mustangs. I mean, unofficially, I've got them with 36 total yards. Orem only has 74. The defense has played really well. They've been put in tough situations. It would go a long way for the Mustangs if they were able to get some success here going into or near the end of the half. But boy, fortunate to just be trailing here 6-0.
So out comes Hall and the offense. And it'll be Robinson on the ground on first down. And Bo keeps his feet moving, gets some of those Mustangs behind him. And don't complain about the bush push when you got runs like this all the time. Gets to the 45-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Mustangs.
How about the horsepower of Mountain Crest here? I mean, this is completely locked up. I mean, he's got 2 yards. And then that entire offensive line, Dusty, just push and push and push and push and ends up getting a first down. Impressive carry, but a great team effort there by the Mustang offense.
It was actually Josh Powell, not Robinson, on the carry. And once again, on second down, they turn to Powell, and Powell is tracked down by Sawatoa. The young man continues to have an outstanding half, and it'll be 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, we had some hand signals cross up in our semifinal, Dustin. I wasn't quite sure what you were showing me there, so I'm
wearing gloves, and so it makes it a little bit harder. I don't know what I'm wearing.
We need the
a little
yellow
wet too.
tipped.
I should have done is paint my fingernails. That's really what I should have done.
There you
Put
go.
the white out on them like
yeah,
in
that
the
would have
catcher.
been nice, huh?
Yeah. 2nd down and 9. 5:25 on a rolling clock here in the first half. And it'll be right option. Still looking. Hall fires over the middle, complete. First down. Nice job of keeping it alive, and it is Powell once again, this time leaking out of the backfield. 1st and 10 Mustangs.
Boy, and one of the things that is causing a lot of issues for Mountain Crest here in the early going is the delay of Orem defensively to line up, and it's making it really tough on the offensive linemen. And it's another play that really I think Mountain Crest is fortunate on. Hall somehow able to extend it and just wait for a man to come open. Hall does over the middle, but the delay in Orem lining up defensively causing issues for this Mountain Crest O-line.
And we got some movement up front. We'll have to see if it's offense or defense.
Looks like defense.
Remember, on defensive penalties, those you watch college and NFL football, if a defensive player comes over, there is no chance to get back. There's not free on the edge. It is a dead ball penalty, and it's 1st and 5 after the offside penalty.
We mentioned how big it would be for Mountain Crest to have some success, and they're having some success across the 50 for the first time in the game, Dusty, here with well approaching 4.5 minutes left in the half.
Double tight end set here for the Mustangs, and it is Powell coming near side. No, this time it is Robinson. Man, they look the exact same. They run downhill, and the single digits getting me. 1st and 10 at the 28.
And now Mountain Crest starting to get it going. Huge hole for Robinson, and I love that coming back from Olsen, because he could have gone on the interior, but instead you always run to the backside of your blockers. He did, and it allowed him another 5 yards on the carry.
Another caught at the top of the screen. Watch out for the outstanding receiver. And it'll be Robinson. And Bo keeps his feet moving. And that's a gain of 4, maybe 5 on 1st down. As right now, chewing up some yards. And so Mountain Crest, after that tough start, Dane could erase the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, they score a touchdown here, Dusty. They could be in the lead despite being -2 in the turnover battle, right? They didn't have much offense going at all. Unofficially, Brady Hall, I have him 3 for 8 for 25 yards with 2 picks. I mean, it's been a forgettable half for him, and they've got a chance to, well, they're still in this ball game, but they have a chance to take the lead, as incredible as that would be.
Again, another dead ball and another offside penalty against Orem. And it'll be 2nd down and 1 after the penalty yardage. As right now, the penalty is starting to hurt the Tigers on this drive.
Yeah, and that semifinal game last week, I mean, penalties really kept Skyview in that game. Orem dominated that game. It gave Skyview extra opportunities, and right now it's extending this Mountain Crest drive.
And it'll be Hall off the zone read. Hall inside the 15-yard line to the 14, and it'll be a fresh set of downs for Mountain Crest.
And maybe the more important thing, Dusty, is it keeps that clock running. 3.5 minutes left. But you see that time, that zone read caused just enough delay of old number 19. It gave Hall a lane and a way to pick up the 1st.
Still no declaration of lineman, as it is Robinson, and he gets dropped for a short gain. And it'll be 2nd down and 8.
And I'm no offensive lineman. That's got to be so hard. I mean, when you know, you just don't know who's coming from where, and you're having to make snap decisions as the ball is live. And I mean, Orem has lived in the backfield on those first couple drives, and Mountain Crest finally having some blocking success, but you can understand why that offensive line, why they've given up penetration to the D-line of Orem.
Coming near side is Hall. A lot of blue shirts there, and Brady Hall's gonna lose yardage back to the 14-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and 10. Nice job by the Orem defense.
And we've seen the Mountain Crest defense make a couple of red zone stands and limit Orem to just field goals. And it's Orem's first opportunity to do that here. We've mentioned this defense, how good they are. Dusty, this is a big play in this first half, really for both teams.
Nethercott will come near side. It'll be Moser at the top of the screen. Offset I formation with Robinson, the deep back. And it'll be Nethercott on the reverse, and Nethercott dropped in the backfield. Nice job of coming up and getting the stop, Austin Kirby.
Boy, big loss on the play, Dusty, and you have a chance on 3rd down, and you see trying to get a little creative, but just a fantastic job beating around the end. And Kirby able to make the sure tackle. That's why you stay home when you're on defense. You don't bite on some of those gives. You stay home. You stay true to your assignment. It worked out that time for Kirby, and Orem gets a nice stop on 3rd down.
Now comes Mountain Crest to try to get within 3. Rolling clock at 1:25 left, and Mountain Crest going to burn a timeout. Wisely taken. 1:25 remaining in the half, and it'll be a Mountain Crest field goal attempt when we come back You're watching the 4A Championship on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. Hall is the holder. I thought maybe he was going to audible, but it'll be a 36-yard attempt from Elias Wells, and Wells gets a good foot on it, and it is no good, wide to the right. Nice drive by Mountain Crest, comes up empty, and it'll be Orem football at the 20-yard line.
Boy, that's a bit of a crushing finish to the drive. They finally have some success. The ground game gets going. Hall extends a couple of plays, picks up some nice yards through the air, and a 35-yard field goal just pushed wide of the upright. And it's a great opportunity. You know, if you're Mountain Crest and Coach Lee, you can still build on that at half, but you got to get a big defensive stop here in this last minute 20.
One timeout remaining for Mountain Crest. A full pocket of timeouts for Coach Hill and the Tigers. Still yet to get a ball to Puka Nakua. He's in the slot at the top of the screen. Laga, there he goes. No, wide of Nakua for the first down. Thought for sure he's throwing that ball underneath, but it is a 1st and 10 to Jackson Williams.
It's one of the things about Orem that you really have to respect in this passing game. Obviously, they have Nakua, and he's had a phenomenal season, but they don't have to go to him. They have other targets, and they know that sometimes defenses are going to work to take away Puka, and it becomes that much more important for their other receivers to step up and make plays, and they've done that here tonight with Nakua catchless in this first half.
Nakua at the bottom of the screen. And it's Laga, got defender right there, gets rid of the ball, and once again finding Williams. It'll be 2nd down and short. The pressure coming on from Bostock.
And this time, bottom of the screen is Nakua rolling away from him. They had bracket coverage on him anyway. And a nice job coming back to the football here by Williams, able to pick up 7 yards and get out of bounds quickly.
It'll be 2nd down and 2, 47 seconds left in the half. Two receivers to each side, Nakua in the slot at the top of the screen. Laga has time, now goes deep, looking for Williams, and that ball falls incomplete. Nice defense there by Camden Oswald. Is once again looking for Jackson Williams.
You know, it's been a much different half for Cooper Laga than Brady Hall. We mentioned Hall's numbers. Again, all of this unofficial. Cooper Laga, 4 of 6, 59 yards. I mean, he's done a really nice job, Dusty, of recognizing time, reading the defense, not taking too many risks. And right now on this drive, we see 2 of 3 on this drive. But he's been on target. He hasn't tried to fit the ball where the defense has been, and I think that's something that Coach Hill can really build on in the second half as well.
2 seconds on the play clock, 1 second, just got it off. Laga rolling near side. Thought maybe he might pull the trigger. He won't, goes out of bounds, chased out by Bo Robinson. It'll be a loss to the 39-yard line. Nice defense by Mountain Crest.
Yeah, it was, and this all starts right at the snap. I mean, pressure immediately on Laga and forcing him to run near side, the coverage down the field, and just not a lot of room to work with for Orem there on that 3rd down.
I guess it's 4th down, so the punting unit will come on. Laga running out of bounds, maybe been better served to just slide down, keep the clock moving and make Mountain Crest burn a timeout. Bo Robinson will wait around the 25-yard line on this punt. And Daly just does get that ball away. Robinson watches that one bounce at the 34-yard line. See what Mountain Crest decides to do. 27 seconds left in the half, and a half that, you'd like to say we'd forget, but really not that big of a deficit.
No, not really. I mean, it could be much worse, Dusty. I mean, we talked about that on that last drive. If I'm Mountain Crest here, Coach Lee, I think I'm going to run the ball once, twice, head to the locker room. I think Hall has struggled a little bit in the air. This Orem defense, the secondary in particular, with the 2 interceptions. I'm happy to just go in 6-0 here, especially after moving the ball on that previous drive.
Receiver to each side, and it'll be Bo Robinson on the carry. And Bo has a nice gain to the 43-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and short, and see if let's let this clock run out. 15 seconds left.
Yeah, this is a play that they started to really open up. You see Caleb, he's been so good of getting in the backfield, just misses that tackle. Robinson able to beat him to the hole and picks up 8.
3 seconds on the game clock. It'll be the final play here. It's Robinson cuts back, has a 1st down to midfield. The ball's loose. And still a scramble. It really doesn't matter who has it, as that will be the final play of the first half. 2 quarters into the 4A championship. It's 2 field goals for Orem. They lead 6-0 over Mountain Crest. You're watching the 2017 4A state championship on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the middle of the field as the Utah High School Activities Association proudly presents the 4A Deseret News Academic All-State Team. Each year, the Utah High School Activities Association has sponsored an academic all-state team to recognize those young men who have excelled in the classroom as well as on the field. The Deseret News has joined with the UHSAA as title sponsor for this prestigious award. From the Schwab Tire Stores, Mr. Josh Castor and Mr. Bill Russell. Representing the Utah High School Activities Association is Executive Director Rob Goff, Chairman of the Executive Committee Craig Hammer, and Mr. David McKee from Spanish Fork High School representing Region 10, who will present the awards to these outstanding stellar athletes. Our recipients include Shane McClure of Bear River, Ashish Galavani of Bonneville, Anthony Victorino of Bonneville, Wyatt Barton of Canyon View, Sean Weaver of Cedar, Peyton Hera of Dixie, Stuart C. Miller of Dixie, Chad Jorgensen of Green Canyon, Kobe Eaton of Hurricane, Palmer Lee Mason of Hurricane, Lyndon Corbett of Logan, Dylan Boston of Mountain Crest, Gavin Scholl of Payson, Reagan Adams of Skyview, Austin Stingley of Snow Canyon, and Kyle Henderson of Uinta. As we walk into the field, the Orem Dance Company. The Orem Dance Company is under the direction of Chelsea Elliott and led by President Cassidy Riggs, Whitney Stratton, Emma Buse, and Taylor Williams. Today they are performing DJ Turn It Up, choreographed by Olivia Buckley. Once again, the Orem Dance Company. Now, please welcome to the field the Mountain Crest High School cheer squad. They are under the direction of Alicia Smith and Randy Rucker. The captains are Nancy Baldwin, Casey Summers, Mary Fonsbeck, and Kennedy Green. It's time now for the Pump Fast and Kid Challenge, brought to you by America First Credit Union. In the white jerseys, we have 2 students from Orem, and in the blue jerseys, we have 2 students from Mountain Crest. Each team will start at the 50-yard line to punt and then pass as far as they can to set themselves up for a field goal attempt. The first team to make the field goal wins. Each lucky winner will receive a $25 Visa gift card and a $20 bucks movie card, courtesy of America First Credit Union. All right, kids, are you ready? All righty, the first team to get the field goal win, so get on your mark, get set, and go. In the blue jerseys are players from Mountain Crest. Congratulations. Thanks for participating in the American First Credit Union Pump Pass and Kick Challenge. American First Credit Union, where winners come first. Leshwater Tire Centers, doing the right thing since 1952. No matter what your favorite activity is, reach for our replenishing ice cold glass of chocolate. Its great flavor is packed with 9 essential nutrients to keep you going strong all day long. Check out the Desperate News for the best place to read about Crest cars. Online at DesNews.com. Desperate News, now you know. Visit MaxPreps.com for stock schedules, rosters, and more. Max Preps, America's source for high school schools. University of Utah believes that there's only one you. Be treated that way. And today we would like to recognize one incredible individual who lives this motto every day. John Nixon has had an extensive education background spanning 35 years. He's been a history teacher, district administrator, and a superintendent. He was even the principal at Mountain Crest High School. Even after retiring almost 20 years ago, he has seldom missed a Mountain Crest sporting event. He is an extremely dedicated member of the Mountain Crest community. Thank you, John,
long as you guys like aren't too loud, I guess. Just, you know, oh, okay. So yeah, the main thing is as long as you guys like.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is right now. Steam trophy ceremony will be performed immediately after the game. Please stay out of the field following the conclusion of the game. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. It's been a nightmare with that. Xfinity on Demand is providing coverage of today's game. Please rewind and rewatch all of your favorite players and plays with Xfinity on Demand. Go to Xfinity on Demand and go to get local and choose CET Sports.
And welcome back into Rice-Eccles Stadium. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you. The 4A state championship. Orem leading 6-0. And we'll start the second half with the football. And Dane, your thoughts of what we saw in that first half?
Well, I think we saw a couple of defenses, Dusty, that are ready for this state championship game. And, you look at the leading tackler for Orem, and we mentioned Caleb the first half that he had number 19, 6 tackles in that first half. And, the turnover is the name of the game right now. I mean, turnovers by Mountain Crest have led to Orem points. The Mountain Crest defenses stopped them, kept touchdowns off the board, but offenses both ways got to find ways to open up the field in the second half.
Well, it looked like Mountain Crest was going to try to chip that one. Well, they did chip it, but I thought maybe they were trying to get an onside kick, but nicely handled by Sean Anderson. It'll be great field position for Cooper Legas and the Tigers, as you can't really see it. Maybe see this a little bit. It is still lightly, it's kind of a snow now. Not near as much of a snow as we saw pregame, but nonetheless, notwithstanding, the sun, though, is starting to come through a little bit as well. But not a lot of throwing. Cooper Legas not put the ball in the air that much in the first half. 5 attempts. So Nakua, the near side receiver, one of the first times they're not bracketing the coverage. As Legas fires to the flat and Rocky can't hang on to it. Incomplete, it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Nice job getting pressure back on Cooper Legas, and we saw that really on both quarterbacks back in that first half. Pressures, not a lot of time to really set up in the pocket. And even some of Legas' throws, they've been quicker. He's extended the play. We saw the same thing from Hall in that first half. Really, it hasn't been the best day to be a quarterback, Dusty. The weather's rough. The defenses have gotten after the quarterback. It's been the ground game that's been the big key, but whichever quarterback plays better in the second half will set up their team quite well.
And here's a big run from Canesse. Canesse across midfield to the 49-yard line. 1st and 10, Tigers.
Canesse, the leading non-quarterback rusher for Orem in that first half, and another 15-yard carry there. But you see a nice job of just getting through the lane and then able to sidestep the diving arm tackle made there and take it right across midfield.
Fresh set of downs for Legas and the offense. No catches in the first half for All-State wide receiver Puka Nakua, who's at the top of the screen, still looking to tie the state record for single-season receiving touchdowns.
Single coverage on him, too.
Come across the middle, and Nakua with the first catch and then some. Reverses field, Puka Nakua inside the 15, and it'll be 1st and 10 Tigers at the 13-yard line.
We mentioned he was 154 yards away, Dusty, coming into this game from breaking the single season receiving yards mark, and no reception that first half. You're not going to break many records playing like that. And Puka Nakua coming across the middle, a nice turn back inside, and boy, fantastic run after the catch by Puka Nakua. And I wouldn't be shocked if they go for that touchdown record right here. Again, you see him up top, manned up, no help over the top on Nakua.
Moser getting the job of staying in front of him. And here's a run up the middle. Nice run inside the 5, still driving toward the goal line. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown. Orem Tigers, Clayson Christiansen. First touchdown of the ball game. And it's 12-0 Orem, point after coming up.
Just like I said, no need to go right back to Nakua, go back to the ground. And Christiansen had a couple nice runs in that first half, Dusty. I think he had 12 yards in that first half. And you see Puka in there trying to help block and get him across the goal line, and teammates working together, ends up in a touchdown for the Tigers.
Nice run by Christiansen. Yeah, great job by Nakua getting there in the end to help out on Cam Moser. Bad snap. Yelling Peter, and he tracked down from behind. Nice job by Bostock, able to stop the 2-point opportunity there. So the point after, no good. 10:43 remaining in the half. It is 12-0 Orem, leading in the 4A state championship on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.
Get your UHSAA High School 4A Championship action on both KJS and KNYU. All of this may cost $1 per student union and University of Utah blood products.
Orem set to kick it away as the Tigers get the first touchdown in this ball game and lead 12-0. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart with you here at Rice Eccles Stadium. The weather is still coming down a little bit, but not nearly. It's feeling a little warmer, or we just might have gotten used to it. But first of 3 games here in the championship day. And the Tigers kick it away. It'll be taken by Tukiavea. Tukiavea around the 15. He won't get away. Nice job, as it is one of the Daly brothers did a great job. It was Ben Daly with the tackle.
Boy, and Ben a little risky, Dusty, because he's got that outside contain, and he starts to cut in as he sees the run by Tukiavea come in. Watch, if he gets around Daly, there's a lot of room up there. Well, I had a teammate filling in behind, so we'll get the eyes checked on this cold November Friday.
Ethan Slade, the safety, was waiting for him. But out come Mountain Crest. They have got to get going. Here's Brady Hall, their outstanding quarterback. Had a tough first half. This Hall has pressure coming. Just gets rid of the ball. Looking for Nethercott. Got his man. Nick Nethercott at the 42-yard line. 1st and 10, Mustangs.
Boy, and they needed that. They needed a big play, and they needed it to their studs. And that time, Hall, boy, he gets lit. Watch this hit coming from the top, gets it away just in time, and Nethercott comes up with a big reception as he got behind that Orem defense.
Tausili Fiatoa with a big pop. A terrific ball from Hall. And it's 1st and 10 in Tiger territory.
And what a response after giving up that touchdown, Dusty. You come out with a big 43-yard gain. Mountain Crest trying to answer.
All making some changes. Now going to throw again. Nobody looking. Robinson wasn't looking. Nethercott wasn't looking, and it could have been, it should have been intercepted by Slade.
Boy, this time just on different pages. You see, he's thinking that Robinson is going to come back. He sees those linebackers off, and Hall is thinking that he's going to sit down at 5 yards, and instead Robinson is trying to get up the field. And as you mentioned, Dusty, very fortunate that that was not the 3rd interception of the game thrown by Hall.
2nd and 10. Hall fires the outside, complete. This is Moser, and Moser quickly escorted out of bounds by Ben Daly. And it'll be 3rd down and short.
Takes a while for this one to get there, but it eventually does. And you got to be careful when you're thrown to the wide side. I mean, you see the secondary playing off quite a bit. As Moser ends up being pushed out of bounds, but you got to be real quick with those throws, as Hall was right there. That's one that if the corner's sitting up, it's probably going the other way.
Moser, near side receiver. They're going to go on the ground. It's Bo Robinson with the 1st down at the 29-yard line. Fresh set of downs for the Mustangs.
And right now, I mean, for Mountain Crest, you know, we mentioned that Orem offense was working. Well, now the Mountain Crest offense working, Dusty. The big play, seeing him open it up in the air. The nice blocking scheme inside set up is Robinson able to continue. They've been working that off tackle run, Dusty. They did it late in the 2nd quarter, doing it here in the 3rd.
Nice job by Huerta. And again, it's Robinson up the middle, and Robinson gets dropped after a short gain. It was Tenney with the stop, teamed up with number 41, Kongaika. And it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Really key drive here for Mountain Crest to get points. And I mean, to me, you know, even if it's a field goal, you got to get something on this drive. They had a big drive late in that first half. They went scoreless on it. Got to get something, even if it's just 3. But boy, a 7 would make a big difference.
Nethercott going across the formation. Hall has pressure coming. Sawatoa missed on the sack. Hall still looking, and down he goes. Pirouette himself into the sack. And it was Austin Kirby. He'll be credited with the sack back to the 36-yard line.
Boy, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, just not going to happen. You see Caleb over pursuing and the spin around, and then here comes the other help. Hall tries again, but a nice job that time by, was it Kirkby again? Coming up with the sack.
And Kane Sawatoa thought he had a sack, but couldn't get the Hall. Trips to the top of the screen, 2 receivers near side. Pressure coming again and again. They get to him. Brought some heat and getting in with the sack. Well, he's not going to get credit with the sack. Should get it. Tausidi Fiatoa. And it is Kirby that'll be credited with his second sack on this drive.
Boy, did you see that swim move? I mean, the moment that ball is snapped, just a fantastic move right at the line of scrimmage by Fiatoa, and there's absolutely no hope for Brady Hall on that play as 34 bearing down on him the moment the ball gets there. A promising drive for Mountain Crest, 2 big sacks, and they have to punt.
You never liked the bear crawl, but after a sack, you'll bear crawl as long as you need to. Nice Mountain Crest roll inside the 5-yard line. Mark it down at the 4, and it'll be a 96-yard field in front of Cooper Lagat and the offense as they lead 12-0 as their defense is stifling Mountain Crest. Well, Dane, the last drive, we saw some nice running from Kanese, a little more balances, and then also got Puka Nakua going as well.
They did, and I think that catch for Nakua, I mean, it was a 36-yard gain. I mean, that was a big one. But I think the running game, Dusty, both Kanese and then Christiansen with that touchdown run, I mean, everything went right for Orem on that drive. Mountain Crest has a chance here defensively to make a big play and get back in this ball game.
We go quick slant with Nakua, and there he is. Puka Nakua across the 25, and Puka finally dropped at the 27-yard line. His nice job of staying calm there by Lagat. It's 1st and 10 Tigers.
You know, the way that Nakua moves after he has the football. I mean, you see the pump fake, the slant route. Watch these little steps in. There's one, gets the defender to bite. Here's a second one, and it just allows him to get down the ball. Those step ins, Nakua so good at that with his athleticism, able to get back outside and extend the plays after the catch.
Nakua at the top of the screen. The second grab of the day. Run pass option. Able to get away from Dart. Now looks, and the ball's complete. What a throw. Terrific catch by Fiso. And Enoch Fiso at the 35-yard line will be 2nd down and short.
Dusty, and Fiso was a kid that I thought they could really get going in this second half and get in this ball game more. Nice job of getting around the dart by dart. And Fiso making an impressive catch, but I'll tell you what, he had Nakua wide open in the middle of the field. I think Lagat just missed him. Nakua has an opportunity for a big play if Lagat's able to connect with him.
Worry about throwing late over the middle.
Yep.
It is Christensen, the deep back, I believe. Movement up front, doesn't draw a flag. As Christiansen again finds a seam. Christiansen inside the 35, still going inside the 30. Big run by Clayson Christiansen. 1st and 10 at the 29.
Pulling lineman makes all the difference. Watch right here, 77 comes over, a fantastic block by Peterson, and it is Christiansen filling in right behind him, getting through a couple of arm tackles. We mentioned the defense would have to play big, Dusty, and right now Orem, this offense is getting big chunk yardage plays here in the second half.
Nakua at the bottom of the screen. You mentioned the next touchdown reception for him is a record-tying play. As it is Kanese, and Kanese swallowed up in the middle of that defense. And initially on the stop, there's Josh Powell. And now a flag comes in late. I think this one's going against Orem.
We saw that in that first half, Dusty, a couple of Orem penalties. The extended drives for Mountain Crest.
Sal Mataya.
And we mentioned him earlier, just a freshman, and sometimes, you know, you get in those big moments and the youth maybe showing itself a little bit there. Important to get your head back in this ball game mentally and shake that one off.
I mean, those are immense momentum killing kind of stuff right there.
Yeah, well, we saw a similar play back in the first half, Dusty. The turnover had a big block in the back penalty that brought it back, and they were able to cap off with a field goal. But boy, things going so well. The difference here is that this one occurring is actually going to back them up on the sticks rather than giving you a 1st and 10.
2nd down and 23 after the dead ball personal foul. Lagat looking, now fires in, now the hands of Nakua, his second drop of the day. And it'll be 3rd down and 23.
It's got to be a season high in drops. Another late penalty flag coming in, Dusty.
I think this one's Ryan Toa going to pick up this one. Got to keep your wits about you. We saw this a lot against Skyview as well.
Yep.
And the thing is, you know what this reminds me of was 2008 Alta Bingham. Harvey Longy was a sophomore running back, roped off this big run, and Bingham was just owning Alta at the time. And there were 2 personal foul penalties at the end of his run. And it went from 1st and 10 to 1st down, and I think it was like 45 yards. And that turned that game around as Alta was trailing by 2 scores, came back and win that state championship.
Well, let's just remind you, Puka Nakua would have the single season touchdown receiving record if it weren't for penalties. Dusty, he would have broken it last week against Skyview. It's not the first time that Orem has really kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Laga going to take off. And now a holding penalty back him up even further as Powell gets the big tackle. And it's 4th down. You're not going to accept this penalty anyway. It'll be 4th and forever unless you want to just comedically take another one.
Well, I actually would, Dusty. It's going to be a 30-yard differential, right? Because you get it up at the 40. I mean, do you just punt on 3rd down? I mean, right now, the way things are going, like, maybe just take a knee. I mean, this is the best Mountain Crest offense has looked all day, huh?
3 straight penalties. This one goes against Hill at the top of the screen.
Yeah, you see right there, pretty obvious hold. 3rd down and a football field to go.
Right. Backs them up all the way to the 28-yard line. Dane, remember, it was 2nd down and 6 at the 25 when the first penalty occurred.
They've had 2 plays over 20 yards on this drive, Dusty. And they're back at their own 26, 27.
3rd down and 52. Laga now fires deep for Nakua, and he was being held the whole way down the field. No flag. Literally holding the back of his jersey as he ran down the sideline.
And Puka has to be careful because he's pointing the finger at Nethercott. And look, we could see the hold up here. I'm telling you, there's a hold. Everyone in the stadium knew there was a hold. It doesn't get called. But if you're Nakua, you got to be really careful because you don't want to give him more yards. It's before that comes into the screen. But I'm telling you, Mountain Crest was fortunate to get away with that one because that one was pretty obvious.
Yeah, and it only would have been 15 yards and it would have been 3rd down and 37. So that's not an automatic 1st down. Pressure on the kick from Daly, taken by Robinson at the 40-yard line. Bo Robinson can't keep his feet, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 44. 4:27 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's 12-0 Orem. You're watching the 4A State Championship on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. $12-0 here in the 4A championship game. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. It is Mountain Crest ball at the 45-yard line after a very promising Orem drive was stifled by 3 straight personal foul penalties. I don't know how many 4th and 52s or 3rd and 52s I've called in my day, but that was the first. That is Nethercott in motion. They're going to fire Nethercott. It's a double pass back to Hall. He had a weight on it. Brady could not use the blocking that was set up for him as he'll be tracked down and dropped by Tenney. and it'll be a loss of 2 yards.
And it's just been that kind of a day, Dusty. I like the play call. It's wide open, and you see Hall leak out. Look at everybody flowing up, and by the time they realize it, it's oh crap. But you mentioned has to come back for it, and there's just no chance to get upfield. Allows Orem to recover defensively. That would have gone for big yards if that's got a little more juice behind it. But leaving that ball short, costly for Mountain Crest.
Trips to the top, and now a timeout taken by the Tigers. As they're going to take a quick timeout, we'll take a quick timeout with them. We'll be right back at the 4A state championship. Out of the timeout, empty set backfield for Hall and the Mustangs. Throws underneath, and that pass incomplete. Intended for Garen Burgess.
Yeah, and this is one that, Dusty, you just got to make this catch. It's coming in tight, and it's coming in hard, but you just got to get the hands up there and bring that ball in. Goes right through the wickets, and another opportunity where Mountain Crest set up. I mean, first and 10 at your own 45, and they're looking at 3rd and 11.
Burgess and Olsen the bottom of the screen. It'll be Hall on quarterback draw. That worked in the first quarter. It's not working in the third, as Hall will get back to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down and 10.
And this time, Orem bring in the blitz. They didn't show it pre-snap. It comes right through. No one picks up the linebacker. Hall sees it immediately, knows he's not going to have time to get rid of it. So he just tries to tuck and run, but there's nowhere to go. And this front of Orem that has been so good all game long, Dusty, bottles them up, and once again, Mountain Crest to punt.
Nakua waiting inside the 20. A whole lot of Tigers look like they might get pressure on that as Nakua takes a fair catch at the 22-yard line. It'll bring out the offense once again. Cooper Laga and the Tigers. Promising drive, last drive, stalled by penalties. And Dane, really, you feel right now, if they drive and score, that might be the ball game.
It is. I mean, Mountain Crest offensively just has not been able to find a way to have sustained success against this Orem defense. And right now it's 2 possessions. But the way that last drive went, you give up another one here, you're really flirting with disaster. This Mountain Crest defense could really use a turnover. It's been their calling card all year long. We've talked about it. The turnover differential for Mountain Crest, they need to take advantage of one right here.
Nakua in motion. Play action. Laga waiting. Fires. That's complete to Rocky at the 29-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 4 for Orem.
You talk about the quarterback play of both these two teams, and Laga has been really good today, Dusty, in what's been, gosh, not the best of conditions for quarterbacks. And you see that time Rocky able to find some space. See that knee touches, he's down, but nice pickup on 1st down for Orem.
2nd and 4 for the Tigers. And quick hitting run has a nice gain with Rocky to the 39-yard line. So 2 plays to Rocky, and it's a 1st down for the Tigers at the 39.
Yeah, and you have a look at this. You mentioned quick, Dusty. It certainly was. Hand off to Trevor Rocky, and he is up through the line of scrimmage ever so quickly. Nice burst from Rocky out of the backfield, and once again, this Orem offense finding success, Dusty. The running game in this second half for Orem has looked entirely different.
Fake the fly sweep to Rocky and run underneath, and it was Wells blowing up the run. Raphael Cooper had nowhere to go. Gain of 1 to the 40.
You know, most times players get haggled a little bit when they get tackled by the kicker. There's no shame in being tackled by this kicker. You see a fantastic job by Wells, the defensive tackle, coming off the block, and nice release there, able to scoop up the running back and limit the game to just one.
Mentioned last week, I think Wells is the biggest kicker in high school I've seen since Zane Taylor.
Yeah.
Played here at the U. He was at San Juan High School. Rocky in motion. They're going to go with the draw coming near side as Raphael Cooper. Cooper across the 45-yard line to the 46. Will it be third down and 3 for the Tigers.
And timing's so important. I mean, Robinson is on a complete beat. Watch number 7, bottom of your screen. He's coming full-on blitz, and you see just couldn't catch up with the back. Cooper, nice burst through the middle, set up third and short.
Inside of a minute remaining here in the third quarter. Third down and 3, big play for this Mountain Crest defense. And it'll be Rocky on the carry. Rocky has the first down, and Rocky sets up the Tigers at the 45-yard line of the Mustangs. 1st and 10, Orem.
Boy, it's the cutback that's the killer here. Watch him. The hole isn't there. Going to come back inside of his center. Fantastic job by Rocky. The good vision. And a 9-yard gain on third down for Orem. And Dusty, right now we're seeing gashing runs on the ground by the Tigers. Mountain Crest, this defense starting to get worn out by the physicality of the Tigers up front.
Nakua and Fiso near side. As Laga will roll. Almost ran himself right into a sack. Fans here want to hold, but there really wasn't one. Down to the 40-yard line, a 5-yard gain for Laga.
And just beautiful case in point. I mean, watch Laga rolling to his left. This play looks dead in the water. And you see just shut off. Laga finds just a little bit of a lane there, able to split through Robinson and pick up 5 yards.
Timeout. Oh, pardon me. It's the end of the third quarter. 1 quarter left in the 4A season. It's Orem 12, Mountain Crest 0. We'll be back for the 4th and final frame on Live at KSL and DeseretNews.com. Beginning of the fourth quarter, the final quarter of the 4A football season. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you. It is a 12-0 Orem lead. The Tigers threatening to really put one nail at least put it on top of the coffin. Nakua at the top of the screen is Laga, play action. Looking, he's got pressure coming from Bo Robinson. Now fires, and Nakua can't haul it in as he goes to the deck to haul it in and can't get it. 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Boy, in that time, Laga, I think he had Braden Thur. Well, I thought it was number 11. Thur listed as a DB going right up the middle. Oh, Zach Ortiz. Thanks, Dusty. He had Zach Ortiz and looked like he got a step past the secondary. So a little bit of a hold on the jersey once again, maybe throw off the timing, but Laga, an impressive job of just running around, trying to get it to Nakua. Nakua with 2 catches, 60 yards unofficially, leaving him about 90 yards shy of that single season record.
Ortiz, near side receiver. Nakua at the top of the screen. It is Kanese, the deep back. And we have got a delay of game penalty on Orem. Their second, or are they going to give him a timeout first? Oh, delay of game. Second delay of game of the ball game. And it'll be 3rd down and 10. Should mention something noticed a little bit earlier. Like Orem, mentioned they haven't won a state championship since '94. They got the old school helmet sticker. Seen the Tigers go with a Oregon look for a number of years. He's on 3rd and 10. Laga going deep over the middle. He's got Fiso! Makes it Willie Mays catch inside the 15. And it's 1st and 10 Tigers at the 13-yard line.
Boy, what a grab by Fiso. And he was so good last week, and you see them going right up the middle. Fiso gets behind everyone, and Willie Mays does it. Love it. What a catch by the big tight end.
I'm a Raider fan. That's goes to the post. That's Casper stuff right there. 1st and 10 at the 13. Laga goes to Nakua, makes the grab. Puka at the 5. Puka in the end zone. Touchdown. Orem Tigers. He ties the state record with Simi Fahoko, and it's 18-0 Orem.
His 24th receiving touchdown of the year, and this is just a simple out route, but we mentioned Nakua. What he does after the catch, as impressive as you'll see, and Nakua just running over Taukiavea. Fantastic job as Orem into the end zone.
Esplin on for the point after. And it's 19-0. Tigers lead, 11:15 remaining in the 4th quarter. Mustangs hanging on by a thread, but it's all Tigers in the 4A championship. Welcome back to Rice-Eccles Stadium. Puka Nakua ties the single-season touchdown record. And Orem leads 19-0 here in the 4A championship. Mountain Crest going to have to turn it on here in the 4th quarter. And we have got a flag before the kick, and we have an offside penalty against the Tigers. We'll back them up 5 yards, and we'll re-kick.
You know, Dusty, when you look at these Orem Tigers, they've got their senior leadership, but Laga, just a junior. Nakua, just a junior. Rocky, a junior. Esplin, a junior. I mean, there's a lot of juniors on this team. In fact, it's kind of the class of the juniors, Dusty. This group started playing together back in 4th grade. Slade, we mentioned, you know, Nakua, Laga, they both joined later in the 7th grade. And this class went undefeated in the 8th grade, undefeated in the 9th grade, and now as juniors, Dusty, they are 11 minutes away from winning the first state championship in 23 years. It's been an impressive group at Orem High School.
Esplin keeps it on the ground. It'll be taken at the 12-yard line by Dart. And Dart gets across the 25-yard line where he's dropped by Slade. But not only that, Dane, I mean, we're going to spend some time talking about Mountain Crest, but look at this offensive line. James Tenney, sophomore. Hunter Hill, junior. Caden Tressler, sophomore. Christopher Frontando is a senior. Kingsley Salmataya is a freshman. Dylan Peterson, junior. Toa, who's a starter, is a senior. And then Caleb Sawatoa, he's only a freshman. I mean, all these kids come back for Orem.
Yep.
But it is Mountain Crest time. They've got to get going. It is Robinson making the grab at the 30-yard line, a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 as he's dropped quickly by Anderson.
Just 6 completions on the day for Brady Hall. It's been a tough day for the Mountain Crest quarterback.
He loses the handle, wet football, and the Tigers, did they get it? They did not. Hall able to get back on top of that one. Nearly disastrous. It'll be 2nd down and long.
And I see going to throw it, and that ball just snuck right out. Just trying to hit Nethercott. You saw him in the bottom right of your screen, and Hall fortunate able to jump back on that one.
Pardon me, it's 3rd down. And 3rd down and 17. Staying in the empty set. Hall. Pressure comes. He has to fire quickly. And that ball is incomplete as pressure was bearing down on Brady Hall. And it's 4th down. And once again, the punting unit will come on for Mountain Crest.
And I think that's really been where Orem has flexed their muscle today. I mean, you know, all the talk about Lagan, he's been great, and Kinesi and Rocky, I mean, Christiansen, but the defensive front of Orem. And we've talked about their alignment and the way that that has confused and made life difficult for Mountain Crest up front, the linebacking. But the defense for Orem has been the big difference today, and once again, forcing that ball out of Hall's hands early.
It's Nakua taking on the hop at the 40-yard line, and Nakua still going. How he gets going near the midfield. That's pretty impressive there from Puka Nakua. Mark him out of bounds at the 49, but he should have been dropped at the 40.
It's 1 versus 3. I mean, you just don't see that. And Nakua does as impressive a job as you'll see. As you see him just dodge, dick, duck, dive, and dodge, right?
Thank you, Patches. Patches O'Houlihan. Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. It's all Tigers. 9:48 left in the 4th. Welcome back into Rice-Eccles Stadium. The snow is falling as the snow globe has started. We've had weather all day long, rain and some snow. But Orem looking to go put the nail in. Lagat drops the snap, now going deep for Nakua. Puka. Nice defense by Moser. Pass is incomplete. Flag comes out, and I don't know about that one, Dane. I think that was just very, very good defense. It's both challenging for the football, but it'll be 1st and 10 Tigers.
You know, I mean, I love football, but the rules are making it impossible to play defense. And to me, I think the defender has every bit of right to go up and win that ball. And officials say that, but I think they call the game differently sometimes. And to me, if I'm an official there, granted, I'm not on the field, I'm upper concourse, but I think Moser is going for the ball. I think that's a very fair play. And I think that's a tough call to make against the Mustangs.
Nakua slow to get up. I know he's been bothered with a shoulder issue most of this season. Nice job of Lagat just recovering from the fumbled snap.
And still able to sling this puppy 40 yards. I mean, as good as they come, Dusty. And we'll have another look at it. I mean, to me, I don't see a lot there.
That's great defense by Moser.
Yeah. I got your back. Unfortunately, what I say doesn't mean much.
Big ground, you get so much going on and things. You had the issue with earlier in the game. I don't know if that plays into it. Officials say that it doesn't, but I think sometimes you're just human. I think it tends to. But 15-yard penalty and a first down for Orem at the 35-yard line. And we're on the ground with Rafael Cooper, and Cooper is pulled backwards. Getting in there is Bo Robinson to make the stop. Second down and 12 for Orem. Doesn't get mighty loud right next to us as many of the Mountain Crest fans getting under the overhang here. And
snow is back, huh?
Snow accompanied by some wind blowing north to south. And they'll be on the ground with Christiansen. Clayson with another big run. Christiansen inside the 20, inside the 10, and finally dropped at around the 7-yard line. First and goal, Orem.
You know, we've talked about the defense of Orem and how pivotal it has been. How about the running of Clayson Christiansen, Dusty? Unofficially, 5 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown for Orem. And this one just as gashing as his others. Boy, Mountain Crest right now just getting chewed up front, and the running backs starting to really enjoy the space that they're finding in this Mountain Crest defense.
It'll be on the ground with Rocky. Trevor's still going, and he's finally found and dropped. I believe on the stop was Camden Olson. And it'll be second and goal at the 5-yard line.
And unofficially, Dusty, I mean, this ground game for Orem, I've got them at 200 yards rushing. And this was a team that only had 114 yards at half, 120. I mean, this second half, you know, runs 36, 30, 10. I mean, just big chunk runs for Orem that really helping them create this separation.
Of course, we've mentioned Christiansen. Maybe not. It's Knesset in the backfield. Laga going to Nakua. Batted away, incomplete. Nice defense there by Moser. And it'll be third and goal.
A lot of chippiness coming both ways, Dusty. I mean, this is a nice play made. Nakua, you see him elevate, but just knocked away that time by Moser. And then, of course, he'll remind Nakua of that play. But tell you what, you're talking now. There's still 8 minutes to go.
He's saying record this.
Yeah.
Maybe saying record instead of record. Rocky motions away. It's single coverage at the bottom of the screen. Laga goes the other way. And this one is Nakua. Pardon me, we had 11 and 12. 11's near side. And Nakua will be a yard shy. Or actually, mark him down at the 2. And it'll be fourth and goal at the 2-yard line. I think you just go for it here, right?
I think so. You know, the screen play, and you typically are going to see Nakua score here. And it's a nice job getting off the block. And you're right, offense on the field here for Orem. And I think this is all going to number 12. It's get him the record atop the state by himself.
Knesset, the deep back. Nakua at the top of the screen. It's Laga rolling right and will stop for a timeout. Dave Stewart telling me timeout. Yeah, Mountain Crest coaches are on the field, and that'll be their first charge of the second half. Timeout on the field. You're watching the 4A Championship on live.ksl and deseretnews.com.
Get your UHSAA High School 4A Championship on both KJS and KNYU. All of this made possible by America First Credit Union and University of Utah Rental Farms. At Lashwan Tire Centers, we guarantee our service like we guarantee our tires.
Welcome back into the snow globe that is Rice-Eccles Stadium. Fourth and goal from the 2-yard line for the Orem Tigers.
And I think if you're Mountain Crest, you're saying, hey, all 11 guys just defend number 12, man. All 11 go to number 12. Just prevent a record, huh?
I think they asked who wants him, and Nick Nethercott said, I want him. It's Nethercott on top of Nakua.
Force him inside.
And it's going to Nakua. Whip route, throw to the end zone to Fiso. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Nice job by Nethercott.
Boy, it was a beautiful job. He's angling Nakua to come inside, and it's what Nakua wanted. You mentioned the whip route, the burst outside, but the moment that Lagasse sees that, he comes off him, goes over the middle, trying to get the touchdown, just sails it high, and the Mountain Crest defense with another nice stand here.
It was a nice job getting pressure, and that pass intended for Enoch Fiso falls incomplete. First and 10, and it will be a quarterback run from Hall. Will get him a yard to the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
You know, Dusty, and let's just provide another fact. And I know that Mountain Crest is down and trailing by 3 possessions and doesn't look like they're going to win, but how about the defense? They've made big stops today. Those 2 stops inside the red zone earlier that forced the field goals, and this defense continues. If this score holds, they've not given up more than 20 points since week 1, where they gave up 21 to Highland, a game in which they won. I mean, the defense has really had a fantastic year for Mountain Crest, and they showed up again here today against Orem.
And that was a crazy win against Highland. If I remember right, it was a 2-point conversion.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a top 5 play on Deseret News Rewind. As surprised here, 2 quarterback sneaks to start this drive. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Who is this, Bingham?
Absolutely, right?
Of course, after what we saw from Bingham last week, they looked more like Mountain Crest.
Yeah, they throw it, intercepted. The 3rd interception of the day, and this is the first one for Slade. 3 defensive turnovers, and it'll be 1st and goal at the 5-yard line for the Tigers.
And this one, I mean, it's a quick read. He's getting the ball out, but you see that ball does not come out of his hand clean at all. And, I mean, hard to hit your target. Nice job by Slade picking that off, and he's had a nice ball game today. Really, this whole Orem secondary, Dusty, we talked about in the pregame. These are 5 kids that they didn't know if they were going to be back for this year. They all signed up, and today they've all served notice and had big plays against this Mountain Crest offense.
Imagine we got 4 plays and 4 opportunities for Nakua to break Simi Fajoko's record. You would think. Put him in motion. Laga hasn't fired it yet. Cooper takes off. Touchdown, Cooper Laga. And the nail's in the coffin. And it's going to be a championship, the first in 23 years for the Orem Tigers.
The nail in the coffin and another nail going in the trophy case, Dusty. As you see, he wanted Nakua. Nethercott there with him right the entire way. And the Orem Tigers. How about the second half? I mean, 6 points in that first half, both off of field goals, but that first drive of the second half really kind of changed the trajectory of this game. The turnovers obviously having a big impact, but boy, this Orem team looking very different in this second half, and they've been a load to handle for Mountain Crest.
20 points in the second half, and it's 26-0. The lead, Orem leading Mountain Crest. Welcome back into Rice Eccles Stadium. 5:47 remaining in the 4th quarter. It is all Orem Tigers. They went retro sticker on the helmet. First championship appearance since 1996. Looking for the first championship since 1994. Coach Hill was part of that championship team, and the head coach going to be bringing back the title to Orem.
And really, it's been a team, Dusty, that you could argue the last couple of years, a lot of people thought that they had the components to contend for a state championship, and usually it ended with early playoff exits. And with the reclassification this year, Orem now down in 4A, and they found a way to get the job done. And a lot of credit to Coach Hill for the job that he did this year, winning Region 10. And then, Dusty, I mean, you look at what they've done in these playoffs, and they've really been untested. It has been a pretty dominated playoff by the Orem Tigers.
Bo Robinson gets out to the 25-yard line, and I just need this game to end nice and clean. They'll need any kind of shenanigans here at the end of this game. It's been a very vocal and chippy game, but 5:38 left in the fourth quarter, and you look at the Mountain Crest Mustangs, Dane, and a very good year. I mean, you look at the one loss coming in this ball game against Skyview. They knocked off who I thought was going to win the 4A title, and the Dixie Flyers. They went down to St. George, traveled to the bottom of the state to win that ball game. And this is an interesting way for the season to come to a close, and hope they can get some points on the board. Bo Robinson on first down, not much there.
Yeah, I mean, Dusty, you go back to that game down at Dixie. It was quarterfinals, and I'm with you. I mean, I thought that was Dixie's game, and boy, Mountain Crest, what an effort they did to shut down Barbin and that whole group, the receivers down there and talented running backs. I mean, that Dixie team, that's a team that beat Lone Peak. And people say, well, that was early in the season. No, it doesn't matter. They beat Lone Peak and dominated Lone Peak. And Mountain Crest went down there and eked out the 1-point win, but they made the defensive stop on fourth down. And, I mean, all the props to them. Then the semifinal, Stansbury, they just dominated them. And, I mean, obviously the number 2 seed out of that region up north, Region 12, but, boy, just hit an absolute wall in the Orem Tigers. And we mentioned Orem's playoff success. How about 36-7 over Bear River, 37-17 over Deseret Hills? I mean, Skyview last week, I don't think that score was really indicative of how the game played. They have dominated everyone, and now including these Mountain Crest Mustangs.
First down and 23. You run a toss sweep, nothing doing for Mountain Crest. And, you mentioned that, we haven't talked a lot about that win against Dixie. And, Hobbs Nyberg gets hurt in that ball game, but it didn't matter. It was an 18-17 win, and Mountain Crest, tell you what, they did their job and kind of spoiled an opportunity. I really thought we would see Orem versus Dixie, but Mountain Crest took care of business.
Yeah, well, and the other thing, I mean, speaking about this Mountain Crest team, that wasn't the first good team they've beat. I mean, we mentioned that week 1 against Highland. I mean, Highland was a really good team this year. And, they lost to Corner King in the 5A second round, but I mean, that was a really good Highland squad, and Mountain Crest went down to Salt Lake, took care of business there. I mean, this has been a gritty group for Coach Lee in what is, I think, his second year here at Mountain Crest. And
that pass nearly intercepted, intended for Nethercott. Daly was right there looking for the third interception of the day. Falls incomplete, and it's now third down and 23.
We've talked about the youth of Orem. Brady Hall, just a junior. He's coming back, but they're going to miss a lot of the pieces around him. Tanner Lofthouse, who had a fantastic semifinal. We haven't called his name a ton today. Orem's done a nice job locking him up. Bo Robinson, the senior. Nick Nethercott, a senior. They've got, their fair amount of seniors on this roster. Moser as well, but Hall coming back, and he's certainly a piece. I know he hasn't had a great game here today by his standards, but certainly a piece that Coach Lee can build around for next year and hope to get the Mountain Crest Mustangs back here to the Hill in the 4A state playoffs. 3rd and forever, and gets a nice gain nearly back to the original line of scrimmage at the 25-yard line, got out at the 22. And it'll be 4th down and 13, and the punting unit will come on once again for the Mustangs. .406 remaining here at Rice-Eccles Stadium as the East Leopards and the Bingham Miners will be coming up next. Stay with us, Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart. We'll have our Facebook Live pregame show. Hang out with us all day while you're sitting at work or at home, wherever you are, staying cozy, I hope, as we're on Thanksgiving week here in the state of Utah. It'll be Orem football at the 44-yard line. With 3:54 remaining in the fourth quarter, and for the Orem Tigers, Dane, it's been an interesting day. Puka Nakua's had his moments, had his touchdown to tie Simi Fohoko. They kept him in check in the first half, got it going a little bit here, but it has been Clayson Christiansen with the timely big plays. Yeah, it has been. Has a touchdown, and Christiansen listed as a freshman quarterback / safety. The freshman's the leading rusher on the day for the Orem Tigers.
Bringing man in motion. And the fly sweep has nothing on it. Nice job by Bostock was there, and also coming to clean him up was Apedale. Probably had 15 up top with Arnell. So it'll be 2nd down and 12. But what a year for the Orem Tigers. We kind of documented that a little bit. They opened up the year against Bingham. That was a tough night for them, and then also against Corner Canyon. But you look at 6A championship game team in Bingham, and then Corner Canyon made it to the 5A semifinals. That is a false start. Dropped both those games, but been on a run ever since.
You know, that's actually a great point you bring up, Dusty. That game against Corner Canyon, I don't think a lot of people paid attention to that game. I think they lost. It was 24-14, 27-14. I mean, that was a relatively close ball game, one of the closer ones that Corner Canyon had all year long before losing in the semifinal of the 5A playoffs. And, I mean, I think it speaks to what this Orem defense could do. And today in the state championship, we obviously saw it. But, wow, I mean, that's a – you never like to hear good loss, right? But that's a competitive loss for the Orem Tigers, and I think that's really maybe one of those moments where you buy in and say, hey, we're going to be pretty darn good this year. And, I mean, it didn't take that. A lot of the Orem fans, the coaching staff, they knew they were going to have a pretty good team, but I think that kind of shows you just how good this Orem team is when you start to talk outside of regions and classifications.
Got a lineman down for the Orem Tigers. It's Jake Peterson on that fly sweep, and we're going to see when he went down, but we got a player down. And we'll take a break as they attend to him. 2:40 left in the 4th quarter. You're watching the 4A championship. Good to see Zach Stoddard get up and off the field in his own power. As Lagal will go delay handoff. This is Raphael Cooper. Cooper with a lot of room to run. Cooper has a 1st down for the Tigers and more. Down the sideline he goes inside the 20-yard line. How about Raphael Cooper? 3rd and 24 to 1st and 10.
We mentioned the ground game has started to find success, and I mean this game's no longer in question. But that delay, Dusty, it worked great in the first half, and this time it's Raphael Cooper able to take advantage of that Mountain Crest defense. Back and dropping off into pass coverage with that delay, and boy, Cooper showing a burst of speed.
Lagal remains in, but none of his normal targets are in, as Fiso is, but no Nakua. Going to fire quick to the flat to Peterson, and Peterson knocked out of bounds around the 5-yard line. Nice hit there by Dart, I believe. And it'll be 1st and goal.
See, that's a pretty simple route. Nice throw made there by Lagal, and then coming in to clean up. Boy, a big hit put on by Schroeder, the sophomore. But a 14-yard gain on the play from Lagal.
Minute 33 left here in the 4th quarter. As is Cooper on the carry, and got to cut off that outside foot. You cut off the inside foot, that's what happens. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Especially on a slick field. You see here, there it is, that left foot, you call it, Dusty, just comes up from under him. Probably would have had a touchdown.
Not everybody can run like Marshawn Lynch, where both feet are outside feet, no matter what he's doing. Right now, he's not running very far, being a Raider fan. for 2nd and goal. Fiso in the slot near side, as it'll be Knesse on the carry, and Knesse gets to the 4-yard line. No gain on the play, as we're inside of a minute, 45 seconds left here in the 4th quarter.
Be interesting if Orem tries for the touchdown, or if they're just going to take a knee and go hoist a trophy, huh?
Hey, you don't need the touchdown. You want that trophy.
Make sure you hold on to that football too, by the way.
Victory formation. No pockets to put that thing in to walk off with, but see who slides that ball in their football bag on the way home. It'll be the first time in 23 seasons the Orem Tigers are your 4A state championship football team as they storm the field here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Been a long time coming for the Orem Tigers. A lot of teams that had good years couldn't get there, just even in our time. Jason Golightly and crew got to the quarterfinals a couple of times and just so close to getting the semifinals and couldn't do it. But this team here at Orem, as you mentioned, a reclassification, doesn't matter. A bunch of underclassmen got the job done. Dane, your thoughts here, the Orem Tigers claiming the 4A title.
Well, I mean, we mentioned during the broadcast, this group of juniors, Dusty, is the group. And they went undefeated in 8th grade, undefeated in 9th grade. And as 11th graders, they climbed to the pinnacle of high school football, capturing the 4A state championship. And all those kids coming back next year. And all the hard work that's gone into it. Congratulations to the Orem Tigers. How about the step up of Clayson Christiansen? I mean, this is a kid listed as a freshman, quarterback safety, and near 100 yards rushing today unofficially for the Orem Tigers. That ground game, particularly in the second half, really separated the Tigers from the Mustangs. But as good as it was, Cooper Legaw, the way that he distributed the football, played a relatively clean game, had a couple of early fumbles, but it wasn't costly. Cooper Legaw, a big difference maker. Clayson Christiansen as well, and the Orem Tigers to the top of the 4A football world. Congratulations to Orem High School and this coaching staff, Coach Hill and his entire staff.
For the Mountain Crest Mustangs, an interesting year, a great year. Get a big win, as we mentioned, against the Highland Rams. Tough loss against Skyview, but go down to Dixie and knock off a team that was a contender of the 4A state championship. It was undefeated in the state of Utah. A terrific year for Brady Hall and the Mustangs. A year after being split up by Ridgeline and got things figured out and made it all the way to the state championship game. There is no shame in the year for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, but the year of 4A football belongs to the Orem Tigers. Orem ran through the year, 2 tough losses to Bingham and to Corner Canyon, and from there took care of business inside of the state of Utah, inside the 4A classification, ran through their region, welcomed Desert Hills, another 4A contender, and took care of business against them. Comes to Rice-Eccles Stadium, and 2 dominating wins against an undefeated Skyview team and a 1-loss Mountain Crest team. Congratulations to Coach Jeremy Hill and Orem grad, a member of the 94 state championship team, and taking a state championship trophy back to the Orem Tigers. Cooper Legaw, an outstanding year, doing things that his brothers couldn't get done at Orem, claiming a championship. For Puka Nakua, a family, a football family in the state of Utah. His brother Samson knows what it's like to bring home a state championship. His brother Kai, a very good football player, and Isaiah won a state championship at Tinview as well. And now he claims a championship and ties a record in an outstanding single season for Puka Nakua. Congratulations to the 4A state champions, the Orem Tigers. For Dane Stewart and Thompson Coles, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching the 4A state championship on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.
Thanks to the staff of Rice-Eccles Stadium for hosting the state football championships. We salute National Tigers for assistance.